back and say, Alhamdulillah, I remembered, I know at least one person. 1,000! That's not a small number. If 1,000 Muslims in India were to be killed by Hindu extremists, we would be up in arms, raging. If it was 1,000 Muslims in Palestine being killed by Zionist Israelis, we would be doing the same. If it was happening in Kashmir, if it was happening in any other place, it touches us differently, but when it's happening in our own backyard, makes no difference, Muslim, non-Muslim, or skin color, anything else. 1,000 people being killed by those who have sworn an oath to the Constitution to protect and serve. We should care. Why? Because as Muslims, we're no strangers to discrimination, to racism, to prejudice, and to these things. Although, yes, many of us are still very privileged. The last thing we should do is become complacent and think that's not my problem. In Statista, they quote, I quote, in 2019, data of all police killings in the country compiled by Mapping Police Violence, Black Americans were nearly 3 times more likely to die from police than white Americans. Okay, somebody's saying, no, there's no discrimination, there's no prejudice or racism, there's no bias there. 3 times. Other statistics show that Black Americans were nearly 1.5 times more likely to be unarmed before their death. So not only are they being killed, but they don't even have weapons, they're not armed. In most states, police forces killed black people at a higher rate per capita than white people. Listen to the states, with Illinois, New York, Washington, D.C. carrying some of the largest discrepancies by state. And it's interesting, it's not like down here in the South. When you look back at the whole American Revolution, the North versus the South, the North fought against the South among other reasons, what? To end slavery. That they were supposed to be the more progressive, the more liberal, the more understanding, the more whatever you want to call it. So ironic. With black population of nearly 50%, had 88% of all police killings been against black Americans, right? Carrying some of the largest discrepancies by state, DC with a black population, we're talking where the capital is. The capital, DC, with a black population of nearly 50%. Imagine that. Had 88% of all police killings be against black Americans. That's your state capital, brothers and sisters. Not your state capital, that's your country, nation's capital. Ahbab, we can look at this in so many different ways, but Allah Rabbul Alameen boils it down for us to one simple fact. And it is, as Allah Ta'ala quotes to us the source of all of this, it is the devil himself when he said, قَالَ أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْهُ خَلَقْتَنِي مِن نَارٍ وَخَلَقْتَهُ مِن طِينٍ. The devil said, I am better than Adam the human being. You created me from fire and you created him from the earth, from dirt. It all stems back to the same thing that the devil himself fell for when he thought he was superior. And Allah Rabbul Alameen is the one who tells us who and what is superior. It's not for any one of us to make that decision. He thought he was better, and because he thought he was better, he was above. He didn't even submit himself and humble himself to Allah Azza wa Jal's commandment. Ahbab, Allah, understand that this is what is at the core of us as human beings. When we are looking at what is happening today, we are falling into the same devilish disease of superiority. And white supremacy is one example of that. Just one. And it's unfortunate that white supremacy does have some of its roots in atheism, where the likes of Darwin and others thought that the white man had evolved from the black man. And that the black man never evolved far enough from the monkey-ape origin that they claim we all came from. And because of that, the religious aspects were also tied in with Christianity, placing Jesus as being white, and that human beings are created in the image of God. Well, when you look at God, what is God being portrayed as? He's not a black man, he's a white man. Therefore, these blacks cannot be humans. And therefore, the combination of the whole industrial era tied in of science with religion, all of that unfortunately festered these beliefs against colored folks being less civilized, and therefore they needed to be colonialized, and they needed to be liberated, and they needed to be kind of like a zookeeper does to an animal. Waliyadu billah. Who and what's at the cause of it? Shaitan. And when a person thinks that they're superior, then they believe that they are deserved of, they believe that it's their right. Their right to be what? To have privileges, to be above the law, to treat them the way that they want, to discriminate, to whatever it is. But imagine that if you can look at another human being and think of them as an animal less than human, and that their behavior is something that such extreme, unproportional levels of abuse and aggression take place, such that just, and this is 2019, ya ahbab Allah, we're not talking about the 1900s, 1800s, or who knows what of thousands of years ago. We're talking about now, in the day and age that we just recently sent out again another one of our spaceships into outer space, to the space station. We pride ourselves on so much, but what good is it for when we're spending billions to go out there into outer space, and yet with regards to each other as human beings, we are still at the most basic, civilized of what we could possibly be of influence under the devil, such that we continue to have these beliefs towards each other and these attitudes towards each other. And this is the way that we behave despicably with each other. So how do you celebrate going out into outer space while you're still trampling on human life here among your neighbors? أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد. Ahbabullah, we are not really grounded in who our Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam was, nor what he really believed and stood for. We really don't even understand how that's tied into Tawheed, of our belief in the absolute oneness of Allah Rabbul Alameen. We are so caught up on symbolism, and we are pleased by so little. We are so complacent with regards to materialism that when it comes to the more important things in life, we want to go ahead and pass the buck and leave it to everybody else. I don't really think that as Muslims, many of us understand that Islam is anti-racism. Not just anti-racism, but Islam is anti many of the isms that are out there. Anti-racism, anti-nationalism, anti-tribalism, anti-elitism, anti-cronyism, anti-sexism. And yet when you look at all of these different isms, you find that unfortunately we are plagued with them, and we are still proponents of them within our own communities. And we've got to come clean and realize that we got to stop denying it. We've got to come clean and admit and confess to Allah Rabbul Alameen. Ya Allah, yes, we have these illnesses within us. We don't look at our sisters as equals with us. We don't look at other people of different race, of different tribe, of different national origin as being the same as us. We don't look at people based on family name or lineage or anything of education, of elitisms and all of these things as being to the same level as us, that they don't speak the same dialect or have the same. We don't do this. And therefore, I think because we know that inside of ourselves we're hypocrites, it is hard for us to stand out there on the side of justice and do what is right. Because shaitan is telling us within ourselves, you're a hypocrite. How are you going to do that? You're a hypocrite. How are you going to stand out there for the rights of blacks and African Americans when you yourself are racist? You're a hypocrite. How are you going to stand out there and talk about the rights of other people when you yourself are such a bigot? If we claim to follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we better take that pill. We better bite. Because Allah Rabbul Alameen has given us a command, and many throughout the Quran, but in this ayah 104 of Surah Ali Imran, He Tabarak wa Ta'ala commands us saying, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. The command is, let there be from you, there must be from you those who rise up, a whole nation, ummah, not a person or two, not the imam or the social activist or the lawyer. Our ummah, standing up for what? To enjoin what is right, to forbid what is wrong, inviting everyone to what is good. Inviting to what is good is al-amru bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar. We've got to make it a part of who we are. In our homes, within our masjid, within our community, within our workplaces, within our schools, wherever we are. We cannot keep silent and worry about how people are going to receive it coming from me. Nor can you continue to allow, because of your own deficiencies and sinfulness, to not uphold what is right and forbid what is wrong. Because that's another one of the snares that the devil uses to prevent us from being Ibadur Rahman, the way that we're supposed to be the merciful worshippers. And the Prophet ﷺ commanded, we conclude, مَنْ رَأَى مِنْكُمْ مُنْكَرًا فَلْيُغَيِّرْهُ بِيَدِهِ فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِقَلْبِهِ وَذَلِكَ ضَعْفُ الْإِيمَانِ. He's giving us an order of how we need to do it, not by choice. The order of importance is whoever of you sees something that is wrong must change it physically with their hand. If you cannot, and that's not that you think about it, you try. If after trying you cannot physically change it, then you do what you can verbally, and that's in the form of speech as well as in written form. Communication. And to combine between the two of them is ideal, because it's not that you can just do one without the other. Both. And if after trying all of these things, and not just you've tried once, not on one occasion with one particular person or particular occasion, situation. No. That this has to be something that you try because you're committed to it as a lifestyle for a long time. And you realize that it's not, then you reach to that point of just being something that you dislike in your heart. And I'll conclude with this, and I'll say, brothers and sisters, we should fear Allah Azza wa Jal in the way that we joke. Be very self-conscious and mindful of the words that we use. Because these types of things, there's no limits to it. If we're not going to stand up for what Allah Azza wa Jal is telling us, understand that in the same way we should be learning and should have learned so many lessons from this whole COVID pandemic and sheltering in place and all of that sort of stuff, our world can change in an instant. And we could be up here, and in an instant that wave will come crashing down on top of us, and we are depths within, unable to breathe, suffocating, dying. And we're all going to die. How we die, that's Allah's knowledge. It's not death in and of itself that's the fear. The fear is when we go back to Him. Are we ready? Can we honestly say, Ya Allah, I'm ready to come back to you. I have not oppressed my family. I have not wronged my brothers and sisters. I have not oppressed and been unjust within society. Are we ready? Allah knows. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. Ya Allah, we ask you, Rabbil Alameen, that you bless us to truly be role models of justice, Ya Rabb. Ya Allah, we ask you, Rabbil Alameen, that you guide us and that you keep us guided in our progeny till the day of judgment, blessing us all to be sources of guidance. Ya Allah, grant us the courage that we need to be examples of your role model, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya Allah, help us to change our lives to be like him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and everything of his beliefs, worship in his character, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, help us as a community to come together so that we can stand tall, proud as Muslims, knowing that Islam is anti-racism and anti-tribalism and anti-sexism and anti-cronyism and anti all these different ugly isms of shaitan. Ya Allah, help us as an ummah to truly, most beautifully emulate your beloved messenger so that those who are non-Muslims, that when they look upon us, that they only feel good towards us. Ya Allah, we ask you, Rabbil Alameen, that you save us from ourselves and that you save us from all that can be harmful towards us, especially in the hereafter. Ya Allah, we ask you, Rabbil Alameen, that you guide humanity as a whole. Ya Allah, help us to transform ourselves. Ya Allah, eradicate from our hearts and from our minds whatever there may be of racism and discrimination, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, heal us from within. Ya Allah, heal us from within. Ya Allah, heal us from within, Ya Rabbil Alameen, and forgive us our sins. Ya Allah, we ask you, Rabbil Alameen, for our brothers and sisters as a whole that are injured and ill, Ya Allah, that you grant them all complete health and a full recovery. Of them, Ya Rabbil Alameen, Abdul Karim Bedri, as well as Sandra Mose, Ya Rabbil Alameen, the mother of our dear and beloved brother Matthew Mose. Ya Allah, we ask you, Rabbil Alameen, for them and for the rest, Ya Rabb, that you know of even better than us, Ya Allah, that you grace them with your touching, with your healing touch, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, that you bestow upon them health and wellness so that they can continue to worship you and do good, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, for our brothers and sisters that have passed away, Ya Allah, we ask you that you accept them and all that they have done of good. Ya Allah, accept their Ramadan, their Laylatul Qadr, and all that they have done within their lives. Ya Allah, and increase it for them. Ya Allah, and accept them too. Ya Allah, forgive them all of their sins. Ya Allah, we ask you, Rabbil Alameen, for the likes of our brother Alex Idris, El Sayyid Rami, as well as our sister Bilqis Hussein, the sister of our dear sister Bushra, who was a school teacher here, as well as Shahid Al-Alim Khan, Miraju Alim Khan's brother in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, pardon me, as well as Pacha Gul, who is the cousin of our dear brother Wali Zazeh, who passed away back in, that is Pacha Gul, who passed away in Afghanistan. Ya Allah, we ask you for them and for everyone else. Ya Allah, that you forgive them all, accept them, Ya Rabbil Alameen, as martyrs, and be well pleased with them and with all of us. Allahumma ameen wa aqim as-salam.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Allahu Akbar.
الله أكبر.
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواسوا بالحق وتواسوا بالصبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم.